Sean Wilentz is a proud liberal and sometimes a hard-edged Democratic partisan. But he is also a distinguished Princeton University historian whose academic work is broadly respected across the political spectrum. That has not stopped some progressives from attacking his work for reasons more of politics than scholarship, specifically, for the sin of writing the book No Property in Man, which argues that the Constitution was shaped in good part by founding-era resistance to empowering, entrenching, or even naming slavery. He has recently found himself in their crosshairs for his vocal criticism, along with that of other leading liberal historians, of aspects of the New York Times Magazine's 1619 Project. In a thoughtful but unsparing essay titled The 1619 Project and Living in Truth in the Czech historical journal Opera Historica, Wilentz has fired another salvo against the 1619 Project, its editor and lead essayist Nikole Hannah-Jones, Times Magazine editor-in-chief Jake Silverstein, and more broadly, the intellectual climate of anti-racist politics that produce warped history while intimidating serious scholars into silence. Wilentz is scathing on Hannah-Jones's preposterous and unsupported claim, in the lead essay, that one of the primary reasons for the American Revolution and Declaration of Independence was American colonial fear that the British would restrict or abolish slavery. Wilentz notes that he believed, naively, that the Times Magazine would correct the record without much difficulty if approached by distinguished historians with the truth on their side. But, of course, that misunderstands both the narrative goals of the 1619 Project and the power of Hannah-Jones, backed by devotees of that narrative, within the Times organization, a subject Wilentz touches upon. That narrative, which is a classic of the critical race theory approach to history, needed the American founding to be irredeemably corrupted by racism and slavery as its core purposes. Thus, even though Hannah-Jones's essay would read perfectly well without the discussion of the Revolution at all, it was intolerable to her in her aims to amend that conclusion. And her power in the organization meant that, if never admitting error on this point was important to her, it would be important to Silverstein, truth be damned. Critics were there to be silenced or dismissed, not engaged in respectful debate. Wilentz repeatedly reminds his Czech readers of parallels to this approach that they know only too well.